Hello everyone, and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every week on Wednesdays. So I want to welcome you to the show, and I do hope that my audio is working okay. Let me double check here. It looks like it should be, so I just had a little bit of a worry right there. So again, welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. I also am streaming to Instagram. So if you like to get your content there, you can check me out there. And this is different than the Good Vibes TV show, which is a formal interview type talk show where I interview different experts about different ways we can raise our vibration. This particular show, this weekly live stream, is all about the Good Vibes lifestyle. So hashtag Good Vibes Lifestyle, and I'm all about creating a movement. So this movement is all about helping people to understand what the Good Vibes Lifestyle is, which is about living from the emotions of love, peace, joy, all the good stuff. And this is based on David R. Hawkins' Map of Consciousness Scale and also Esther Hicks' Emotional Guidance Scale. So one of the newest things that I'm doing in this concept of the Good Vibes Lifestyle is hosting a summit on National Good Vibes Day. And so you can check that out. NationalGoodVibesDay.com is the website where I'll be getting you more information. And it's on October 30th that is deemed as National Good Vibes Day. And so with being that it's Good Vibes Day, I had to come up with something to celebrate. So I'm going to have a summit with all kinds of speakers about different ways to raise your vibration. So mark your calendars for October 30th. All right, so with the Good Vibes Lifestyle, what I love to do is talk about the astrology of what's happening every week, what's coming up with astrology and what's happening. And so the big thing today, being June 6th, is that we have the 666 portal. And so why is this important? Well, when we see numerology, everything is energy, right? So in numerology, each of the numbers from 1 to 9 has a certain energy to it. And the number 6 energy has to do with love, has to do with nurturing, has to do with being like mother energy. When you look at the number 6, you see the 6 has a little belly on it, like a pregnant woman. So that's the mother. Number 6 is related to the planet Venus, and Venus is all about beauty and love. So the energy has to do with charisma, care, harmony, and responsibility for self and others. So this being a 6/6 day, on top of the fact that it is the new moon in Gemini today. This morning it was exact at 8:38 a.m. Eastern Time. So we have the 6/6 energy portal, we've got the new moon, and there is actually a party happening up in the sky. It's a Gemini party, because not only is the new moon in the sign of Gemini, but also Venus is conjunct the new moon in Gemini, meaning when it's conjunct in astrology, it means that it's kind of right next to that they're together. So we've got the new moon in Gemini, we've got Venus, which is also related to the number 6, the 6/6 portal. We have the sun that went into the sign of Gemini on May 21st, and it'll be there until like June 20th. Then we also have the sign or the planet Mercury in the sign of Gemini. And even Jupiter is in Gemini. So, and I talked about that last week, about Jupiter being in Gemini. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, so it's about expanding the energy in Gemini. So let's talk a little bit about the sign of Gemini. Gemini rules the throat, the lungs, breath, our hands, and the nervous system. Gemini, if you may or may not know, it's an air sign. So it has to do with the air element, which is speaking and talking. It's also the sign of the twins. So the Gemini energy is it's about communication. It's about curiosity. Geminis love to learn. They love to talk about ideas. And they're playful, they love travel, and Gemini rules the airwaves and media. So this time that we're in is all about Gemini. It's all about the air element, it's about expression, it's about speaking our truth. And I found a great video podcast. It's called Star Powered with Leslie Targoda, and I will put the link in the description on the YouTube channel about, so you can go to this exact episode. But she had a whole little discussion about how it's important now to plant the seeds of our voice. She was talking about believing in our voice and to see that our voice has value because our message has value. And this is all very important, very synchronistic with a special guest that I have coming on just after this astrology segment. So, she talks about believing in your voice and know that your voice is of value and that your voice can bring in your people. She also talked about how it's necessary to acknowledge the fear that we have because, speaking our truth, raising our voice, speaking up, there's a lot of fear related to that because, and it happens today. People have spoken up and spoke up and spoken out, and they've been killed or imprisoned. And this happens today in our world. Thankfully, that doesn't happen in the United States, where we have the First Amendment. So the First Amendment, expression, speaking our truth, sharing ideas, this is all very important to us as a country. It's part of our values. So there are real fears. They say public speaking is one of the biggest fears that we have, and it's because it's related to being killed. Sometimes speaking up, you can get rejection, you can get, people have been persecuted, they've been attacked and harmed. This happens, now online with people trolling, where people are getting attacked. And there's also the fear of failure regarding speaking our truth because, we're afraid that we're not going to do a good job or stumble over our words or people are not going to care about what we say. But I love what this Leslie Tagorda talks about. She says, activate, this is an important time to activate our voice, to share our message and bring your people together to bring new ideas. She talked about how like the butterflies and the bees are like cross-pollinators, and the idea of the sign of Gemini being an air sign. And, it's important to share ideas. And as we share ideas like brainstorming or just communication, this is how we cross-pollinate ideas, and then better ideas and bigger ideas come out of that. So I just really loved how Leslie Tagorda talked about activating your voice and how that is so appropriate regarding this new moon in Gemini and all these other signs in the sign of all these other planets in the sign of Gemini. So this is a really important time to speak our truth. And with that in mind, I want to share with you that I have a special guest speaker. Her name is Marla Press, and Marla is the founder of Speakers on Fire Academy. She's also a public speaking coach. She's a life coach, and she's also an art of presence trainer. Marla's mission is to help you speak so people listen. So please welcome to Good Vibes Lifestyle, Miss Marla Press. Marla, so good
Hey,
to see
Leslie.
you.
So great to be here. There are no coincidences, right? Because everything you just talked about is so aligned with what I talk about. And it's so funny because I know a little bit about numerology, but I have to admit, not much. 6 is my favorite number.
Oh, there you
It
go.
always has been. I like have this compulsion to use 6 in a lot of my marketing or in, just when I sign up for something or in all kinds of ways. I just love the number 6. So that's just too funny. And then of course it aligns with using your voice, because that's what I'm all about, is helping people speak up and use their voice. I did an action talk. It's kind of like a TED talk all about this. It's so, so important.
Yes, I'm so, and it's so cool how, when we planned this interview, I didn't know what the astrology was of the day or the date, none of it. And this is why I'm always kind of asking Spirit to help produce this show and the other show that I do. And it was just so perfect that today,
Perfect.
we have you as a guest, as a public speaking coach, to help us activate our voice and learn, why is it so important? So first, let me ask you this. What inspired you to become a public speaking coach?
Yeah, so it was a couple of things, and for all the listeners out there, you can probably relate to this. My life was a little zigzaggy, right? It wasn't a direct pathway to this, but it started out. I just loved being on stage. I was in musical theater. I love dancing, and so I was constantly performing on stages. And even though I am an introvert, I loved performing. And I was in a dance company too. So I was on stage dancing, let alone in musical theater. And I wrote speeches and I love giving speeches. So I did all of that uh, the whole time growing up, and then a little bit into my college years. But then I got a degree in psychology. So kind of let go of some of that performance and just really was helping people with a lot of issues, a lot of them serious issues. Then I became a life coach. And what I discovered was there's a lot of people that want to promote their businesses now, especially in the past 5 years. Almost everybody's coming out and not wanting to work for other people anymore and wanting to be a coach or consultant. And they need to promote themselves, but they're not good at it. And like you said, there's a lot of fear involved. And, public speaking is still the number one fear for decades. It hasn't changed. People feel like they're going to die if they have to speak. And then there's also just the little bit of anxiety that it can produce. So not everybody has a phobia about it, but almost everybody has a little anxiety or a little fear when it comes to putting yourself out there. And I've worked with teachers and people that have been speaking to educate, but that's not the same as promoting yourself, telling your own message. That's really different. And so I really love helping people speak up and speak so people listen, so that you can promote your business, whatever your business is. But I love working with people who are making a difference in the world and really helping others.
That's awesome. So, why would you say that speaking is so important in a person's personal growth and development?
Oh, in your personal growth, I mean, it's so helpful for your business, but in your personal growth too. And that's what I focus a lot on is, we've all had these messages. You talked a little bit about this, but even, besides in communities now where, or people may have been killed or certainly shut down, we've all had messages growing up of, don't talk so loud, be quiet, you're too much, or your message doesn't matter, or you're not good enough, or you don't look good enough. All those messages that we get, and they come into our heads when we're stuck in our head as a speaker. And so what I help people do is get out of your head, out of this head energy, and into your full body energy, which is partly from my art of presence training. And so I now train others in the art of presence. And being present is more joyful, it's more authentic. It helps with all your communication, whether it's your kids, your spouse, your partners of any kind, let alone your business. It just helps you communicate from a different place and be really authentic and be a great listener and really show the essence of who you are and not just all this clutter that's up in your head.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about what the art of presence actually is. So expand a little bit more about that. What is the art of presence? Meaning being present in the moment and just being here now, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny because words like authentic and presence and mindfulness, they're kind of almost overused, and a lot of people don't really understand what they are. So here's how I explain it. Mindfulness is not thinking about the past, how it's going to affect what's happening now, not thinking about the future, what you're doing now, how it's going to have a consequence or what might happen. It's thinking about the present moment and really being aware of the environment and what's happening right now. And that's a very, very important skill to practice, right? We all need to practice that. But presence is a step further. Presence is getting out of this head energy altogether, not just being in thinking mode, but being in your full body energy. And we're just not used to that. We're in an information age. We're bombarded with information. We have so much clutter up there that we've lost touch with being in our bodies. And that makes a huge difference in your communication and how you feel. And to give you an example of someone who has presence, right? So someone walks into a room or a meeting or even a Zoom room, and maybe nobody notices them and nobody remembers that they were there. And another person can walk into any room and the energy shifts and people perk up, they pay attention because that person has this presence, this magnetism that draws you in, that makes you curious, that makes your energy shift. So that person has presence. And that is more than just having that mindfulness. It's really this full body energy.
And that's perfect. That perfectly leads to my next question, because you talk about how your mission is to help people speak so people listen. So you're just starting to talk about our vibration and our energy, which is what my show is all about. So how does a person's vibration and energy affect their speaking? You've touched on it, I think, a little bit in the presence, and you gave this example. But talk more about that. How do you work with people's energy so they can be that magnet in the room?
Yes, great question, because it's not really something we can just intellectualize about, right? Like you can't say, okay, I'm going to have more presence now, or okay, I'm going to be more authentic now. I take people through exercises. So the art of presence it's this huge program I didn't develop. It's been taught all over the world, and it's 45 different practices to give you the experience of being in your body, of shifting your energy. And it's not just being in your body. There's this internal energy, and then there's external energy. So internal, we touched on a little bit about having presence, being in your body, but the external energy that you also can master and can be aware of or not. So some people have shrinking energy, and especially when they go to talk, but even we mostly live in a certain energy, even though it can vary a little bit depending on the situation. So some people are shrinkers. They pull back. They almost, have body language that shows that, and their voice might be more meek, not necessarily just quiet, because you can be mesmerizing and have a quiet voice. But it's this shrunken energy. And then other people are projectors, and they're just, some of them are entertainers and they have charisma and they're interesting, but they're almost throwing themselves at you and they're projecting their energy. And it can be exhausting for that person, and also for anyone that's trying to communicate with them, or if you have an audience, it's exhausting for them. And it doesn't build trust because you're throwing yourself at them. You're not inviting this two-way communication. Then there's people that diffuse their energy, their external energy, and they just don't really take a stand. You're not sure what they think or how they feel. They're just sort of all over the place and diffused. So healthy external energy is to have your energy expanded around you. And that's above you, below you, right and left, is behind you. You have that energy, you affect it. And it's contained energy. So it's not projected, but it's expanded and contained. So the art of presence works on both this internal energy and the external energy. And to take the internal energy a little step further too. So a lot of speaking coaches will say, speak from the heart, not from the head, and you're going to connect to your audience. And this is true. But I take that a step further and say, speak from your heart and your gut. And gut's kind of not a pretty word. So I call it your home space. That's where you're truly home and authentic. And when you communicate from your heart and this home space, you're very authentic and you really connect to people in a bigger way.
And that's interesting. We talk about the gut because a lot of the new research talks about, there's a brain in our gut, and how there's, our gut and our brain, connects with our brain. So that's just very interesting that you're talking about that. Now,
yeah, there is more.
Just
to add one other comment to that, I didn't mean to interrupt,
Sure.
but just to, because yes, there's a lot of science around this now, and your gut has more serotonin than your brain does. And that's the feel good hormone, right? It's where we connect to each other. And there's a lot of science behind this. And the other thing about your gut is intuition. And it's almost this collective consciousness where when we connect to this home space, it's not only where we're home, but it's this collective feeling. And it's such a great way to communicate with others in a more collective, connecting, and authentic way.
I love that. So in the art of presence, you said there are 44 different techniques, right? And do you have I have a volunteer, and I think we were gonna, you're gonna, maybe, is it one of these techniques that you were gonna go through with my volunteer?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Well, let me introduce you to Bridget Riggs, and let's see if I get this right. There she is.
Hey, Bridget.
Hi.
She's my sister, and she
Oh
also
my
has
gosh,
a business called
welcome.
Finding Coherence. So she is my little guinea pig for you to practice this technique. Now, is this technique something that we all could kind of do as we're watching, or is it something that she will only be doing?
So what this is, and I have some quicker things, but this is just such a beautiful technique that I would love to share this with all the listeners. So this is something that everyone can do together. But what I'm going to have you do, Bridget, is so that everybody can see what a difference this makes. Everyone can feel it themselves, but what you're going to demonstrate for everyone is what a difference this makes in your communication. So what I'm going to have you do is tell everybody in 30 to 45 seconds or so what you do and what you offer, because you have a business, right? Mm-hmm. And so some people will call it your elevator pitch or your marketing message. So do that, and then we'll take everybody through the visualization, and then you'll speak again.
Okay. So my name is Bridget Riggs. I am the founder of Finding Coherence Academy, and I created this academy after healing my body from Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease. And being a scientist myself, I experimented using ancient wisdom, quantum physics, and energy work to not only heal, but harmonize my mental, emotional, and physical bodies. And now I want to help other women, empower them that they can do the same. And I no longer are taking any medications. I did this with no lotion, potion, pills, or needles. So it can be done. I did it myself, and now I would like to help other women heal.
Woohoo, everybody. We hear the clapping in the universe. Everybody's clapping for you. So first of all, that was beautiful and amazing. And you have so much to offer. But I want everyone to just think about and feel into, did you feel connected to Bridget when she was speaking? Did you pay attention, or did your mind wander a little bit? How much did you really get what she has to offer? So, and then we're going to all go through the exercise and we'll revisit that. So go ahead and close your eyes. And everyone listening, if you're not driving, close your eyes and just give yourself permission. Allow yourself to relax and just follow my voice, even though it's something maybe you're not used to doing. And just allow yourself to sink into your chair a little bit more and take a deep breath there. Allow your shoulders to relax, your face to relax. And now put your feet about shoulder width apart and notice what your feet are doing. Are they touching carpet? Are they touching hardwood floor? Are you sitting and they're on a stool? We're so up in our head, we have no idea what our feet are doing most of the time, but this grounds us. And imagine that you have roots that come up from Mother Earth. They're about 15 feet deep into Mother Earth, and they come up into your feet. And some people will imagine plant roots. Other people just sense energy. Other people are visual and are going to feel or see color or sparkles. Whatever it is perfect for you. And keep allowing that energy to come up from Mother Earth into your feet. And now allow it to come up into your ankles and your lower legs, and come up through your knees, and come up into your upper legs, and allow that energy to come up into your home space. And that's a couple inches below your navel and a little to the back of your body. And just bring all of your attention there into your home space. Some people feel a light there. Some people just picture energy moving back and forth. And allow that energy to move, almost like you have a bowl filled with honey and it's just rocking back and forth and back and forth. And it's just filling up your home space with delightful, delicious energy. Your home space, sometimes I call it womb space for women. It's where you birth all your ideas. It's where your resourcefulness is. It's this wonderful place where you collect to the whole universe and everyone in it. And just allow that energy to move a little bit more within this place. And feel the freedom of that, the joy of that. Yes. Now allow that energy to connect to and come up into your heart space. And your heart space is your place of self-acceptance and acceptance of others, and your place of love for yourself and love for others. And allow that space to open as if you have windows on your heart and you can open it just a little bit more and open more. And feel the energy move around your heart space, just all filling up the area in your chest. And now allow that energy to move back and forth between your home space and your heart space. Really feel that connection. And if it feels like it's hard to stay in there for some of you, imagine you have an elevator and it goes down and down and down and down through your heart and into your home space. And take just another moment to allow that energy to move within you. Move back and forth and back and forth. And feel the joy of this, the acceptance, the love for others. And in just a moment, you're going to open your eyes, but you're going to keep your energy in this place and speak from this place and support Bridget from this place. So when you're ready, Bridget, open your eyes. And from this place, tell us your passion, what you offer to people, what you want people to know about what you offer.
So the creation of Finding Coherence Academy can help you empower women, menopausal women that have been diagnosed with a disease, to realize that they don't have to be in a disease state. I've been able to clear it out of my system completely, and I can teach you how to do the same. And that way you can find your true self, undiseased, healthy, happy, truly in joyful bliss. So that way we can all help each other and heal the world.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a difference. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to give you some feedback in just a moment, but how was that for you?
Heart-centered, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what usually happens when we communicate from this place versus up in our head is it's less about us, right? You don't start with, here's who I am, here's what I did, here's what I can contribute. It's more about, this is the creation for you. This is about you. This is how I help you. This is what's going to change in your life. It's more emotional content. It's calmer. It's more clear and concise. There's not as much talking and jargon that happens, right? There's such a big difference. So I invite everyone who's listening and watching the replay or watching, if whatever you're watching this, to just notice, did you feel a difference in your connection to Bridget and in how you could hear her? And I'd love to hear comments. It'd be great for Bridget to hear comments about the difference that made for you, because this is what it's all about. It's speaking so people listen. It's not just talking. That doesn't do it. We have to speak so people hear us, so they really get what we're about, so they feel it, so they want to take action, so they're inspired. And this is, normally I go into a lot more depth when with my clients about this, because you did amazing, Bridget. You really got in there and there was a huge difference, but we can go even deeper with this. And it makes such a difference in how people respond to you. And of course, it's going to get you more clients and more business too, but you're going to impact so many more people.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for participating. You had no idea what you were in for. And so I love that you were just a willing volunteer. Thank you so much for sharing what you do.
You.
And I know you're going to help a lot of people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate it. All right. So Marla, that was really amazing. And you did that in just a few minutes. I can imagine, if someone goes through your program, how much that they can grow and learn and really develop that magnetism and charisma in their speaking. So I know you also are an author, and you have a series of books called the Emotional Roller Coaster Books. Tell us about that.
Yes. So I wrote these years ago, but again, my background is in psychology. And so I wrote this series that, it's so true. Everything has ups and downs, right? Our emotions have ups and downs. Life has ups and downs. And so I wanted to pick some topics that I cared a lot about and talk about the emotional ups and downs of them, and then what to do about it. So my books are short books. They're almost like a workbook. There's lots of activities in them so that you can really transform. Because I feel, people read books and nothing happens, right? It's like, oh, this is great information, but I'm all about transformation, whether it's for my clients now with public speaking or books that I write. It's all about transformation. So the first book was about when your kids leave home. that's a biggie for anyone who's a parent. And for me, I wrote it right after my first child left home. It was, it was traumatic, and it's it's just hard to deal with. It may not be that traumatic. It depends. But for a lot of people, it really upsets their life for a while. And so these are ways of coping with it that can be so helpful, and just understanding why it seems to, for a lot of people, maybe especially women, but people in general, it changes their identity. They're, especially if it's their last kid and then they're an empty nester, what that changes as far as how you are in the world and your identity and your purpose. A lot of people start businesses after that, right? Or they start new things. So that's really important. And the second book was about losing weight, because that's such a big issue for so many people. And as a speaker, a lot of speakers don't want to put themselves out there on camera because they're worried about how they look. But beauty truly is skin deep, and it's how you feel inside. And diets don't work. So news release, diets don't work. It's all about this mindset and behavior, and really understanding all the emotional attachments to eating and what that means. So we talk about all of that in the book. And then there's exercises so you can overcome all of it. And there's NLP exercises, all kinds of exercises. And the last one is about your relationship with money, because that's another huge one, right? People's relationship with money. And as a business owner or a speaker, you have to really come to terms with your relationship with money, or you might make money and then lose it, or you might have so much emotional attachment that you don't make money. So it's really important to explore, which is what I'm all about. It's exploring. It's not making everybody a certain way or trying to say everyone's the same, but exploring your own feelings around these issues. My next book that's going to be coming out soon is about the ups and downs of being a speaker and putting yourself out there as a speaker. So that one's in the works, and I can't wait to share that one.
Awesome. That's great. Now, I love to ask my guests what they do to raise their vibration. So can you share some of the techniques and things you do to raise your vibration?
Yes. So doing exercises, the visualizations, like one of them that I shared with you, I do a meditation. And I'm not one who can meditate for hours. I have a 10-minute meditation I do, and it's a moving meditation, and it's so helpful. I also teach that. So helpful. And then another favorite thing I love to do is dance. And I so believe that music alone and dancing to music absolutely raises our vibration. It gives us so much joy. And again, it's being in your body, right? And it's using your body in such a way that it just brings up all this wonderful energy. It's so helpful. I just love dancing. And you can dance in your living room or kitchen. It doesn't have to be go out and dance in the public, but I love to do both.
That's awesome. Now, I understand, Marla, that you have a free gift for our audience. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah. So what I want to offer everyone is a hot or not speaker assessment. And what this is you can bring any part of your marketing message, your stories. Stories are so important. Your talk of any kind, or if you don't have one, we'll develop one. So in 60 minutes, you will come away with a message that's going to immediately get you more clients or get you more speaking gigs. If you want to be just a motivational speaker, it'll get you more speaking gigs. And if you're a speaker, it's essential to have a talk that attracts people to you magnetically.
So I think the link tree, is that the best way to get that, to sign up for the complimentary hot or not speaker evaluation?
Yeah, I put that in there because that gives you even more information, my website, my social media, anything, if you want to explore that first before we get together. But the link to set up a call with me directly, if you want to go directly to that, excuse me, is just speakwithmarla.com.
Okay, great. And what's the best way for people to contact you? Using the link tree or the Speak with Marla or your email?
Yeah, if you want to email me, it's real easy. It's m.press@marlapress.com.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Marla, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all your tips on how to speak better and magnetize our energy so that we can wow our audience. I think I need to do some classes with you so that I can improve.
I'd love
Do
to.
you have
You're
any final?
amazing. You're amazing. I love what you do. It's, energy is now a mainstream thing. People, it didn't used to be, right? But now
Mm-hmm.
there's science behind it now, and people realize the importance of it. So I love what you do. And I would love to, give you more of a taste of what I do. And that's why I offer this free Hot or Not speaker eval. And you can bring anything you
I
want to
love that.
that.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And everyone will know how to get a hold of you and get that evaluation assessment. So thanks again.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much for having me. Number 6, everybody.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
So that was Marla Press, a public speaking coach and founder of the Speakers on Fire Academy. So check her out. All right. So I will continue with the show. We like to, every month, let's go like that. So every month I have a different Oracle card deck that I like to share. And this month's Oracle, because we're a brand new month and it's a new moon, so it's perfect that we've got new things happening. And the deck that I'm going to feature this month is called the Golden Future Oracle by Diana Cooper. And I want to share a little bit about, of course, drop the cards. These cards are really beautiful, and I actually set up a really cool way that you can see the cards. So check it out. So these are the cards. That's the one side of them. And you'll see some of the different cards. You'll have a sense of what they look like. And that's the one of the purposes. So you get to see what these different card decks are like. And then if you are interested, you can go to my Amazon store to get them. So let us see what message we have from Spirit. Let me shuffle the cards and find out, what does Spirit want the audience to know right now. And this will be good for you watching live right now, or if you catch the replay, whenever that is. So let's see what this message is. And actually, before I do that, I do want to talk about the Golden Future Oracle deck, because she is talking about the golden future. And this is actually something new for me, that I knew a little bit about ascension, but I haven't really heard a whole lot about the golden age. So I want to read a little bit from the Oracle guidebook that comes along, how she introduces the golden age. So she says, we are living in turbulent times, as we all know. However, the good news is that we are moving towards a new fifth dimensional golden age that will be a time of peace and happiness, when the world will have changed beyond recognition for the better. So what is the golden age? She says the golden age is when every person, animal, tree, plant, and the land itself radiates a golden aura. Gold is the color of love and wisdom. So a golden age is a time of peace, harmony, and abundance, when everyone co-creates for the highest good. She says that in the coming golden age, the air and water will be pure, and they will be nutritious food for everyone. New spiritual technology will support us, providing limitless ecological and free power. In fifth dimensional consciousness, everything we need will come to us automatically and effortlessly. And she says that we will all be attuned to the angelic and spiritual worlds. And she actually even has a time frame She says that in 2012, that ended the 260,000-year cosmic era known as the outbreath of God. Then from 2012 to 2023, this is the start of the 20-year in-breath of God. During this period, everything is explored, hidden stuff is brought to the surface to be examined, and secrets are revealed. And, I think we can see that this has been happening. All of the structures that vibrate with the old third-dimensional paradigm start to collapse, including economies, trade, health, and schooling. So that's from 2012 to 2023, and from 2017 to 2022, she says this is when nature cleanses the planet using the elements of fire, earth, air, and water. The unprecedented wildfires, earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods that we've seen have been purifying the areas where negativity had been held on the earth. And so she says that from 2023 to 2032, there's a 9-year pause to prepare for 2032. There will be much unrest in the world as the old paradigm collapses to be replaced by new systems designed by the people for the people. However, the cleansing of the planet by the elements will calm down. And the big year is 2032. She says a new fifth-dimensional blueprint will be put into place for our entire universe. Humans, animals, fish, trees, flowers, and the land will speed up in frequency and start to radiate golden auras. Love will unite the universe and will massively affect everyone on Earth. And then she says by 2050, by this time, life will be beyond our current conception because the fifth-dimensional blueprint for our planet and the universe will be fully activated, and everyone will have fifth-dimensional consciousness. So, and she goes on to there, but I wanted to share that with you because it'll give you a little bit of a background when I read about these cards. So, Spirit, what message do you have today from these beautiful cards? And the card I am getting, interesting, is the economy. And here's my new little setup. The economy, number 21. Trust your needs will be met. 21. So she talks about how as international trade ceases, countries that rely on exports will make massive adjustments to become self-sufficient and to care for their citizens. When the old financial paradigm collapses, various currencies will take its place for a while until money ceases to be relevant. Then people will share and exchange the goods they want or need. As consciousness rises, individuals worldwide will understand that there is enough for everyone, so ownership will no longer be necessary. Wise community decisions, open-hearted sharing, and generous giving will replace the old economic ideas. Everyone will pool their assets and their food, taking only what they need. They will build homes collectively, freely contributing their skills. When the masses live at the fifth-dimensional frequency without ego, whatever is needed will automatically be made available. In the golden future, people will trust the universe to provide for all of their needs, so they will freely share what they have. And the guidance for this card calls on you to open your heart and meditate on the flow of abundance and prosperity in your life. Fifth-dimensional thoughts and beliefs automatically and easily draw anything that you need from the universe, so cultivate them. Your personal economic situation depends solely on your consciousness. The more people open their hearts and minds to the divine and accept their due as beloved children of the universe, the more quickly the entire planet will move into the golden future. Hold the faith for everyone. Lord Gautama, the Buddha, known as the embodiment of wisdom, is helping to clear old attitudes to finance so as to create an equitable and compassionate world. Surround yourself in the citrine light, then consciously focus on abundance, Practice open-hearted receiving as well as giving. And at the same time, take economic decisions in a grounded, sensible, and practical way. So very interesting. The economy. Trust that your needs will be met. And, you know, even though she's saying this is way in the future, people are living in that fifth dimensional world now. It's really a matter of our consciousness and our perspective. And again, this is what the Good Vibes lifestyle is all about, is living really in the fifth dimension, the area of love. And when we're vibrating at that frequency, we are attracting those positive things to us. So very interesting. The economy, trust your needs will be met. So that was the card for the Oracle card. And again, if you like this card or any of the books and things that I share with you on this broadcast and any of the other shows, just go to good-vibes.tv and you'll see my Amazon store. All right, we're winding down. So I love to talk about tip of the week to raise your vibration. And so last week's tip was to send love and appreciation to your cells, to your body, right? And so I'd love to know if any of you tried this and what kind of results have you had. This kind of was inspired when I had my car accident, and I'm still healing my broken arm, but sending love to all of our cells and realizing that our cells hear what we're saying. They pick up on the vibration. So that's why negative self-talk is so bad, because your cells hear that and will respond. So it's important to send love to our body and to our cells. So this tip of the week, this week's tip of the week, my words, the tip of the week for raising your vibration is to speak your truth. We've got all of this Gemini party happening in the air. So I think it's important to speak your truth. And when you speak your truth, you're being authentic. You're speaking from the heart. As Marla was talking about, you're speaking from your gut, from the womb of who you are. And this is so important when we speak our truth, because when we're not speaking our truth, we're stuffing our thoughts and not speaking up, playing small, we're not thriving. So speaking our truth, this is the tip of the week. And do it. When you speak your truth, it doesn't have to be in a harsh way. It can be in a loving and a compassionate way. But the main thing is that you're speaking your truth, what you believe, what you think, what is right for you. So that is this week's tip of the week, and I hope that is something that will encourage you to practice speaking and finding your voice and sharing your message with the world, because your message is important. We all have value. And the way we express that value, one of the ways is by speaking. So I want to thank you for watching today. I want to encourage you to live the Good Vibes lifestyle, and, comment if you received any value from this episode, which I'm sure you did, because I know it's a long episode today, but I hope that you can apply some of these things, that it inspires you to live the best life you can. And again, thank you for watching, and I just want to encourage you to raise your vibration so you can thrive, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.